Naging mainit ang usap-usapan sa mga binitawang salita ni Matt McQuade patungkol sa ating pambansang liga na PBA at para sa ating NBA hopeful na si Kai Sotto. Controversial nga ang kanyang mga nabitawang salita at hindi nga kinatuwa ito ng mga Pilipino. Sa kanilang panibagong episode ng kanilang NBL Roundtable podcast ay muli nilang pinag-usapan ang mga naging pahayag ni Mr. McQuade na isa sa mga host nito. Nagsisi na nga ba siya at nagbago na nga ba ang kanyang pananaw kumpara sa kanyang mga pahayag noong isang linggo? Yan ang mga pag-uusapan natin sa ating featured video for today. Naging controversial nga ang pangalang Matt McQuade na isang veteranong NBL commentator dahil sa pangmamaliit niya sa PBA at pagda-downplay niya sa tsansa na makapagambag si Kai Sotto sa kampanya ng 36ers this season. Kaya naman minabuti nilang pag-usapan this week sa kanilang podcast ang kanyang mga pahayag dahil na din sa nakuhang mga negatibong reaksyon niya sa mga Pilipino na isa na ngayon sa nagpapaangat sa viewership ng NBL. Sa simula ay agad nabanggit ni Matt McQuade na hindi niya babaguhin ang pahayag niya sa PBA at nabanggit pa nito na second-rate league nga daw ang ating pambansang liga.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think there's probably a few things for me when I think back. I don't resolve anything about what I said about the PBA. The PBA is a second-rate league. Okay, it is. I'm just talking about from a basketball standpoint. But the facts are the facts. It has been for a very long time. You know, the skill level, the overall talent, the lack of fundamentals, the style of play, everything. It's not great. It just isn't.
Binanggit din ni Matt na ang hindi pagpasok ng ating Gilas Pilipinas sa Olympics ay ang kanyang basehan kung bakit sa tingin niya ang talento ng mga players sa PBA ay mahina.
I mean, I looked it up as well. You know, their national team hasn't made the Olympics since 1972. You kidding me? So, and they've got some new kids coming through. This kid's going to be the vanguard of the new generation. I hope that under Tad Baldwin, who I have the utmost respect for as a coach, that they go to another level.
Kanyang inamin naman ang kanyang pagkakamali na hindi nga naman talaga galing si Kai Sotto sa PBA.
And the other thing, of course, is that Kai, of course, doesn't come from the PBA. That's probably something I should clarify. You know, he obviously went over and he was going to play in the G League, and then that didn't work out. And now he's here in Adelaide under the special restricted player scenario. So,
kanyang ipinaliwanag ang kanyang nabanggit noong isang linggo na hindi nga daw magkakaroon ng impact si Kai Sotto sa 36ers.
You know, and you asked me, would he have an impact? And my whole thing with him is that, yes, he's 7'1", athletic, has a lot of talent. I don't deny that for a second. But he's playing behind two guys that have been NBA players, right? Cameron Bairstow, albeit at the end of his career, and Isaac Humphries, who's at the beginning of his. Then he's playing behind Daniel Johnson, one of the greatest offensive forwards we've probably ever seen, at least in the last 20 years in the NBL. And then you've got the import as well. So it's how many meaningful minutes is he going to play? That's what I class it as. Garbage time is one thing, but meaningful minutes in a 28-game, 40-minute per game season, I just don't see it. And I'd love to be proven wrong because I think, you know...
Kinontra niya din pati ang nabanggit ni Com Willie Marshall na best league nga daw ang PBA sa Asia.
Did some research and the head of the PBA actually made the claim that actually last week that it's the best league in Asia.
No, I don't think so. It's incredible. It's fantastic and it's something to be celebrated. But please don't tell me that the PBA is any good. It ain't any good, right? It's just not. It's not the NBL standard.
Guest nila dito guys si Liam Santamaria na kilala sa pagiging patas sa kanyang pag-aanalisa at kanyang nabanggit na malaki nga daw ang respeto at pagmamahal niya sa ating mga Filipino basketball fans.
I got a lot of love for the Philippine basketball fans.
Yes.
Just like I've got a lot of love for the Red Army, the fans of the Perth Wildcats, because this is what it's actually all about.
100%.
Yeah.
The passion for your league, your country, the stars, the local stars that you've been able to produce. I love it. The views, the following, everything that comes with having Kai Sotto as a part of the NBL is a massive positive for the league, and I want all the fans of the Philippines to follow him closely. If the fact that he didn't suit up for their second game of the preseason is big news, terrific, because when he does take the floor and have a few big moments, it's going to be even bigger.
Aminado si Liam na malaki ang impact na nadala ni Kai sa NBL at excited nga daw siya sa maiaambag nito sa 36ers this season, kabaliktaran sa nabanggit ni McQuade.
And when it comes to Kai and the potential impact that he can have this season, I'm actually really excited about the kid. Now,
Ang magiging malaking challenge nga daw kay Kai ay kung paano siya magiging parte ng rotation ng 36ers.
the challenge for him is, can he work his way to a point where he is a part of their game night rotation on a game-to-game basis?
Correct.
I don't think he's starting the season at that point. You talk about Daniel Johnson and Isaac Humphries; those guys are going to be the starters and the stars in the front court all season long. And the little couple of flashes he showed offensively in their first preseason game were really positive and spoke to the potential help that he can provide in limited minutes at that end of the floor. We look at him as an NBA draft prospect alongside these other guys that we have in the league right now, following the footsteps of LaMelo Ball and Josh Giddey and these types of guys.
Ang maganda nga daw sa sitwasyon ng ating pambato ay 2 taon ng kanyang kontrata sa 36ers na pwede niyang gamitin para patunayan na karapat-dapat siyang madraft sa NBA.
The thing with Kai is he's got an extra year up his sleeve. So there is no strong expectation that he needs to or even will go into the NBA draft in 2022. He's got a multi-year deal with the 36ers. It's more of a kind of an expectation looking towards the 2023 draft. So if he can take some really positive steps towards making that step up to the NBL this season and developing his game to the point where he's playing a really legitimate role the following year and creating some buzz heading towards the 2023 draft, well, that's going to be mission accomplished for both him and the 36ers.
Nang tanungin siya sa opinyon sa ating pambansang liga ay nabanggit niya na maganda nga daw ang following nito.
And the cool thing about the PBA is, for me, it does have a massive following.
Yes, 100%.
And those crowds are enormous, and you have humongous attendances in NBA sort of size arenas at times throughout that league. And, the TV viewership is massive. So, you can say what you like about the standard of the competition, but the fact that it is so well supported, for me, speaks to the strength of it as a league, because in the end, it's the fans really is what it's all about.
Nag-agree naman dito si McQuade at nabanggit nito na nasa tamang liga nga daw si Kai para i-develop ang kanyang skill set.
Yeah, look, I don't disagree with any of that, and I know I'm going to get in massive trouble for saying that it's a second-rate league on the court, but that's just how I feel, and this is, I've been doing this for 40 plus years, so I've got a fair handle on leagues around the world, same as you do. So, and they're comparing it to the NBL. I mean, my whole thing as well is that I think from Kai's perspective, I think he's in a great place, i.e. the NBL, to develop his skills. I know Body Nodge was talking about the fact that the 36ers have got, he's on individual skill development every day with Scotty Ninnis, so that's going to help him out. And look, he is gifted. He has great size. He could turn into a rim protector. Again, to explain myself, my whole thing was just, and you said it beautifully, this is a long-term prospect. The kid's 19, for heaven's sake. What gets me is just, I think the Filipino basketball community, that passion can be a bit overwhelming at times, and you see some of the comments that he's going to tear apart the NBL. Well, that ain't happening. So let's just be real clear on that. But you'd like to see him develop this year to a point where he does get those meaningful minutes, and then next year potentially, because we don't know what's going to happen with Isaac Humphries, he's looking to go back to the NBA potentially. So there could be an opportunity there for him to really step up and be a significant contributor next year. I'm not expecting it this year, potentially next year, if he develops along the way based on what his size and talent would seem to dictate he will.
Well guys, ito lang ang masasabi ko dito. Sadyang ma-pride itong si Matt McQuade dahil unang-una ay hindi niya nga nabanggit ang performance ni Kai Sotto sa unang laro ng 36ers sa NBL Blitz. Para nga bang iniiwasan niya na mabanggit na disente ang pinakita ni Kai dito. Hindi natin malalaman sa ngayon kung tama ba o mali ang kanyang opinyon, ngunit sana nga ay magandang ipakita ni Kai at lahat ng yan ay malalaman natin sa mga magiging laro niya sa regular season ng NBL. Samantala tungkol naman sa issue niya sa PBA, well, kanya-kanyang opinyon yan guys. Kung sa tingin niya ay mababang uri ng liga ang PBA ay kailangang respetuhin natin ito. Sa aking opinion guys, isa pa rin ang PBA at ang Pilipinas basketball as a whole sa mayroong malalakas na players sa Asia. Patunay dito ang pagkuha ng mga players natin bilang imports sa iba't ibang liga sa ating rehiyon. Maaring may pagbabanga ang quality ng PBA sa kanilang pamamahala pero hindi naman ito nagkukulang sa talento. At syempre asahan natin na ang mga bagong henerasyon ng mga Filipino basketball players gaya ni Kai Sotto ang makakapagpabago ng tingin ng mga kagaya ni Mr. Matt McQuade sa Pilipinas basketball.